So this is a how-to on how to do the bonuses for your next test. Some of these I made similar examples, and some of them I'm just going to give you the gist of how you should do it, because I just don't have enough time to make similar examples. So your bonus is x to the 2/3 minus 1 is x to the 1/3, and the similar example I have is x to the 2/3 minus 3 is x to the 1/3. There's a technique out there. It used to be taught in Algebra 2, which is why it's on this thing, because these are the math contest questions. There's a technique out there called U substitution. What we do is we let u be x to the 1/3 because u squared would be x to the 1/3 squared, which is x to the 2/3. So now I can let this piece be u squared minus 3, because there's minus 3, and that's u. And I don't know how much you remember about Algebra 1, but you have a quadratic. You have an a term, you have a b term, and a c term. You put it in standard form. You try to factor, it doesn't factor. There are no factors of 3 that add to -1. So then you hit it with this guy, x equals negative b plus or minus square root b squared minus 4ac all over 2a, where a is this 1, b is this -1, and c is -3. So opposite of a -1 is a positive 1. You're going to square a -1, wouldn't even write the negative symbol, it's going to be positive, minus 4 times a, which is what? Done lost my place here. A is 1, and c is -3. It's all over twice a, and again, a was 1. This is 1 plus or minus square root of 13 when that works its way out over 2. Now this, we use the quadratic formula here, and it's x equals, but we were actually solving for u. This is u, all right? Now remember, u was x to the 1/3. So x to the 1/3 is 1 plus or minus the square root of 13 over 2. And you may not know what the 1/3 power is. X to the 1/3 is equivalent to the cubic root of x. All right. Anyways, you counteract the 1/3 power with its reciprocal of cubing. That's what you do. So anyways, there's that. There's also an idea I've taught in class, which might be a little easier for you, of throwing this in y1 and throwing this in y2. That might be easier for you. You do need to know that the cubic root of something is the 1/3 power, because what you can do is you can use your calculator, use that intersect feature, and then you can type these in and see which decimals are equivalent. So anyways, that's how you do it by hand. By hand, that's the answer. Which makes me wonder if they actually have the right answer present. I expected to see something cubed. I did. Oh well, moving on. 15. The graph displayed shows a graph of a parabola with x-intercepts as labeled. What is the equation of the parabola? And I've got a little similar parabola over here off to the side. It's got the x-intercepts -2, 0, 4, 0, and 0, and the y-intercept 0, -4. And there is a form on your form quiz. It's something along the lines of y equals a times x minus p times x minus q, ... Pattern goes on forever. Anyways, p and q are your x-intercepts. That's what they are. So I can get to y equals a times, if I take away a -2, x plus 2. If I take away 4, so x minus 4. And now all I need to know is this a value, and I'll be in business. Well, that's where this point comes in. It gives you an x and a y to substitute in with. So y is an a value, sorry, not y. Here, y is -4. It is equal to some a value. The x is 0, so 0 plus 2, 0 minus 4. And this is going to give me an a value. So -4 equals a times 2 times -4, -8. And this tells me my a value for my equation for this guy is 1/2. See, my equation is y equals 1/2 of x plus 2 times x minus 4. And what I do is I FOIL this out. I get x squared plus 2x minus 4, so minus 2x minus 8. And then I take half of it. And I'd have an equation. All right, which of the following is equivalent to this? And I wrote down a similar example. I wrote down x squared plus 3x minus 10 over x squared plus 4x minus 5 divided by x squared plus 5x plus 6 sitting pretty over x squared minus 1. And this is a factoring problem. This isn't even in your state algebra 2 standards anymore. It just aggravates the snot out of me that they pulled this out. It shouldn't have. But they did. So whatever. I'm going to factor. This becomes factors as plus 5 minus 2, because that's my negative 10. Add 5x, take away 2x, I'm at 3. The bottom factors as plus 5 minus 1, plus 5x minus an x, divided by, which gets changed to multiplicate. Well, actually, let me just do this real quick. I don't want to do too much for you at once. That is factors of 6 that add to 5, 2, and 3, so divided by x plus 2 times x plus 3. And this guy is special. This is called a difference of two squares patterns. I don't know if you've seen it or not, but a squared minus b squared factors is a minus b times a plus b. And think about it. You want factors of 1 that add to nothing in the middle. It's x minus 1 times x plus 1. That's how she factors. Now, you have properties in math, like you know them with numbers. 30 over 15, you can think, oh, that's 15 times 2 over 15 times 1. You can cancel out common factors. That's gone. Plain and simple, that's gone. So this left term becomes x minus 2 over x minus 1, or expression, I should say. Now, division is the reciprocal of multiplication. So we're going to multiply by, we're going to flip x plus 1 times x minus 1 over x plus 2 times x plus 3. Now, I can use the same property of canceling common things out. This guy is gone. There's an x minus 1 in the numerator, there's an x minus 1 in the denominator, it's gone. And I'm left with x minus 2 times x plus 1 over x plus 2 times x plus 3. And what I can do here is I can FOIL, double distribute. That's x squared minus an x minus a 2 up top, and looks like x squared plus 5x plus 6 in the bottom. That is the same as all of that. It is the simplified result. They have the same graph too, and that's kind of one thing. They have the same graph. I mentioned that. You're probably listening to me on mute. They have the same graph. Let's see, this is about Jo. She likes cats. She has 3 cats, Amy, Beth, and Meg. She needs to know how much each of them weighs, but they are skittish and will only get on the scale with one of the other cats. And cats do that. What I am going to do is I'm going to show you how to write a system of equations with this, because then I can just use this magical thing called the substitution property repetitively. So Amy, Beth, and Meg are my variables here. Amy and Meg weigh 17. So if you take Amy and you take Meg and you add them together, you get 17. Amy and Beth are 19. So if you take Amy and Beth, add them together, you get 19. And Meg and Beth are 22. Now the ultimate question here is, how much does Beth weigh? Well, I'm going to use substitution. All right. I'm going to move this over here. Amy is 17 minus Meg. Go right here. 17 minus Meg plus Beth is 19. And I would like to solve this one for M. Okay, so I'm going to move this over here. I'm going to move that 19 over here. And 17 minus 19 is negative 2. And now if you're catching on, what I can do is I can put that right there. And that'll get you Beth's weight. It's called a system of equations. I don't know that I could have done that with a verbal description. Some people can't. I cannot. Let's see, 18 is what is the equation of a line tangent to the circle x minus 3 squared plus y plus 4 squared equals 25 that passes through the origin. So I'm just going to make something up here. I'm going to do x minus 5 squared plus y minus 3 plus 3 squared equal to 36. And the rest of it's going to be the same. Passes through the origin. So last year you learned x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared. You did. Your center is at 5, negative 3. And notice the lineup process, your radius is 6. So I've got to go right 5, fall 3. Right there we are. I have a radius of 6, so I need to go back 1, up 6, whatever. Here's my circle. You're supposed to plot more points than that, but here's my circle. And what I just wrote won't work. It's got to be a variation of 3, 4, 5. Oops. Sorry. X minus 6. Y plus 8. And it'd be 100. So now my center is at 6, negative 8, and my radius is 10. There's a reason it had to be these particular numbers. Now what does this thing do? It is tangent to the circle, and it passes through the origin. It's tangent to the circle, and it passes through the origin. I don't know that I agree with any of their answers. You're just going to get this one for free, because I'm having a hard time visualizing this. I'm going to go right 3, down 4. I have a radius of 5, and what's interesting about this is I have a 3, 4, 5 pattern. But anyways, okay, I see what's going on here. I went right 3, down 4, so I'd have a point 5 above, 5 to the right. The reason I wasn't quite agreeing with this is because this actually passes through the origin. That's what the circle looks like. If you're going to be tangent to something, tangent means touch once. What it means, touch once. Which is why I don't know that I agree with what they're writing. Because I am quite certain the only thing that can do this is y equals x. I am incredibly certain about that. And that's not an option. So this problem is flawed. I am quite certain they probably used the wrong wording. So this is garbage. It happened. This is from the 2023 Algebra 1 test, and they had to throw out like 3 questions on that test because they weren't worded properly. And that's apparently one of them. It's a shame. It's such a good question. Two real numbers have both a sum and a product of -6. What is the value of the larger of the two numbers? So x plus y is -6, and x times y is -6. So on the cat problem, I was using the substitution property, which is exactly what I would do here. I would just take the, it doesn't actually matter which equation you do. Maybe do this, move that over. Y is -6 minus x. And then you can put that right there. Let's see what happens if we do that. X times -6 minus x must be -6. That'll give me -x squared minus 6x equals -6. And what I'll do is I'll jump everything right. So I'll have 0 equals x squared plus 6x minus 6. Now this thing doesn't factor. Does not factor. What you're going to do is you're going to use the quadratic formula. That's how you'll solve it. That's how you do the bonuses on your next test. -18. Which is not going to happen on 18, apparently.